Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel, and there is an increasing number of XRP chart analysts jumping on board the bandwagon saying that yes, indeed, XRP will be entering a multi-dollar level, no longer trading in the realm of pennies or dimes. We're talking about $1, $2, $3, $4. More and more analysts jumping on board, and it's interesting to see this for a couple of reasons. First of all, they're saying this, and they seem to be somewhat in lockstep. But in terms of timing, they think it's probably going to be happening sooner than later. You can think about Credible Crypto. I've been covering him on the channel lately. He thinks potentially within the next 2 months you could see a new all-time high with XRP. Roughly within that time frame, it seems like blockchain backer. I think that was the time frame, more or less. He's talking about XRP getting up close to $2 before having a retracement and then having another leg upward. And then you've got this headline from Cointelegraph titled, XRP price now eyeing $1 after key support level holds, Bitcoin price soars. And this is written by Michael Vandepop, who, certainly nothing against him, he's just, he is not a fan of Ripple and not a fan of XRP, and even he thinks, hey, this is a range that's possible. And so to see it from somebody that is really pro-Bitcoin and anti-XRP is kind of something to behold here. So at least he's being intellectually honest, I would suspect. Some of these analysts, I just kind of question if I know they're a Bitcoin max. I'm like, can I even trust you? Because a lot of them will only report when they think bad things are going to happen to XRP. But the ones that'll post things that, in terms of directionally where they think it's going to go, if they think it's bearish, but they'll also post bullish, then I'm more inclined to think, okay, at least they're probably being intellectually honest here. But this is interesting. And so it's interesting because, well, first of all, a few reasons here. So multi-dollar levels from multiple analysts in a short time frame, and it's also interesting to me that it's all happening now. It's like, just think about how many Bitcoin maxis out there have been spreading the nonsense of XRP will never get above, it'll never rally again, it'll never get above $1 ever again. It's never made any sense in the world to me, because even if you take away the fundamentals, which I think will ultimately matter more as time passes, how can you possibly deny that in a broader sense, XRP, along with Ethereum and every other altcoin, especially the large cap coins, they're just following Bitcoin anyway. So for the Bitcoin maxis that are saying, oh, that XRP thing, it's just purely ridiculous here. So we'll be running through this, but there's lots to say, and it's all really positive stuff, well, at least by and large. But if you would please ever so delicately tap the like button and subscribe to the channel if you've not yet done so, I would appreciate the support. And as I record this, XRP is at 64.8 cents, Bitcoin is at $19,479. And here's a tweet from an XRP community member, Anders L., who wrote the following. The hate for XRP we see in this market is the most obvious sign of fear that I've seen. They fear it because deep down they see where this is going, and it is in their minds against what crypto is supposed to be. Nothing could be further from the truth. And I agreed with that so much, and it resonated with me, so I wanted to share it with you. Because if you think about it, we know when XRP was created, you do realize that it was created by early Bitcoiners, right? These are people that were big fans of Bitcoin from the beginning, and all they were trying to do was create a better version of Bitcoin. And so once XRP was created, they didn't even know what it was going to be used for. They weren't sure. They just wanted to make a better version because they thought it was neat technology. And only after it was positioned to help the legacy financial system, to help banks, once it was positioned by Ripple to do that, that's when all hell broke loose, really. I mean, some people they thought, any altcoin is a distraction, as if it's a bad idea to stop or to continue innovation, because that's what it was. It's a bad idea to continue innovation. So some people find they didn't like it just because it was not Bitcoin. But beyond that, it was really just because it was used to help, or being positioned to help banks. That's when things really got poor from a narrative perspective, the way that Bitcoin maxis were going to treat it. But it's pure silliness. And so just be aware that if people have a down with banks, down with government mindset, trusting them for investment advice might not be a good idea. And look, I don't have a financial background, so don't buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm not offering financial advice. I just think it's fun to talk about these things and share my opinion, and we can all learn from each other. But that is all that is. And so here's another piece. I'm going to touch on this briefly before jumping into the one on Cointelegraph here. This comes from the Daily Huddle, and this piece is titled, Analyst Lists top 5 crypto projects likely to surge in December. And they're talking about Lark Davis here, and his YouTube channel has 159,000 subscribers. This guy's got quite the following. And so one of his top 5 here for surging in December was XRP. So check this out. Crypto strategist and influencer Lark Davis is naming 5 crypto assets that he believes have potential to rack up big gains in December. And so I'm going to skip over the other ones because this is an XRP-centric channel, damn it, and I do whatever the hell I want. But one of them was XRP again. So Davis believes that the 3rd largest crypto asset will have a big December as investors await the Spark token airdrop. And here's a quote: XRP could see a further rally as well in the run-up to the airdrop, which is scheduled for December 12th. So he's talking about the Spark airdrop. And he actually got that factually incorrect. The snapshot taking a picture of the current state of the ledger, that will occur on December 12th. The airdrop itself is yet to be scheduled. But anyway, I got the cut of his jib. And anyway, he continued, though. Now, it has had a massive run-up, so do be careful with that, but XRP holders will be dropped 45 billion Spark tokens for the Ripple-backed Flare network. And so I always understand, of course, there are going to be retracements along the path. And I remember listening to Nicholas Burton. He runs the Data Dash channel, which is another massive channel. He's got over 300,000 subscribers. He's earned respect in the community, the crypto community in general, and a massive following as a result. And I always enjoy his analysis, even though he's not a troll. He's just not pro Ripple and not pro XRP. So I tend to trust the direction that he says he thinks things are going. I just think he's wrong about the fundamentals and this and that as far as Ripple and XRP. But I remember him stating as XRP in late 2017 was getting up close to the $3 range. He was cautioning people. He's like, look, typically when you have these huge run-ups, you do see pullbacks. So he's like, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but just be careful. And I think that he was operating in good faith here. And so there's something certainly to the idea of just being aware that there are going to be pullbacks. But unless you're a fool and you think that you're actually purchasing the bottom, come on, guys. Let's be adults here. Let's be aware. Anytime you purchase a crypto, it's a virtual certainty it's going to go lower at some point. But that goes back to what I was talking about in my very last video, which is to just have a longer-term mindset. To me, that makes all the sense in the world. Now, the good news is, even if there's a pullback, it's not going to be something that's going to be earth-shattering. Blockchain backer, he says that he thinks the bottom's in here, even if it goes a hair lower. Credible Crypto effectively said the same thing. He says technically maybe it's possible it goes anywhere from like 38 to 55 cents, but he's not counting on it. He's definitely not counting on it. He says more likely than not it's going to stay roughly in this range before rocketing up further. And so, and none of these people are wizards. They're just talking in terms of probabilities. When you're talking about trading, that's the gist of it, right? And so, from my perspective, anybody that has a long-term mindset, if you're like me and you think that XRP could get back to its all-time high and beyond, is it bad to purchase today at about 65 cents? Even if it goes down to 40 cents or something like that, is it the end of the world? Because, if you're like me, you just dollar cost average, and that's what I have done for years. And I paused my purchasing a couple months ago because I felt like I was reaching a point where I had a serious problem if I didn't stop buying. So I did. I was like, okay. I was like, all right, man, you've got to stop. You've got to stop. And so I finally did. But if you're the type that wants to acquire and begin investing in XRP or continue your investing in XRP, is it the end of the world? If you just dollar cost average it on the way down to 40 cents, to me, it's not a big deal. It's just if you're the person that's going to get emotionally shaken up by that, I wish you the very best as things ramp up in the multi-dollar range, and then you have pullbacks of over $1. Because can you think about it? Once this thing shoots up, what if it's $4, $5, $6? You tell me it's not going to go down by $1 or $2 at some point? Come on. Look what happens with Bitcoin. Look at historically what has happened with XRP. This is all coming here. I'm just saying. Now, into this piece, again titled XRP price now eyeing $1 after key support level holds Bitcoin price source. This is the one from Cointelegraph, written by Michael Vandepop. Definitely not a fan of XRP. So this could have been much more harsh. So check this out. While Bitcoin is facing a potential new all-time high, and this was posted earlier today, other coins are showing strength as well. And one of those coins is XRP, which has been going vertical in the previous weeks. XRP's price surged from 22 cents to a high of 78 cents during the month of November, which immediately ended up in a massive correction towards 45 cents. Let's take a look at the XRP price charts to determine whether this was an entry opportunity before the next leg up. And again, both Blockchain Backer and Credible Crypto, those are just two off the top of my head, they do believe that we saw the low point around 45, which would have been a nice entry point, but it's more likely than not. Like, it could go lower, but they both think it's probably not. The daily chart of XRP is showing clear support and resistance zones. Within such a heavy pump, the levels to watch can be derived from the daily time frame. In this case, the first massive support zone is around the 45-cent barrier. XRP corrected toward this zone as the price of Bitcoin dropped to $16,200 on Thanksgiving Day. The chart shows a clear support bounce as the price has gained more than 40% since. If 45 cents failed to sustain support, the next support zone would have been around the 30-cent area, which is the previous resistance zone that was likely to be flipping support. And Blockchain Backer, he was talking about that in a recent video that I watched. I think he might have said 30.5 cents, but we're splitting hairs at that point. So they both believe the next level beyond that would have been 30 cents. It looks like we're probably not going to be hitting that, obviously. Then he has this little subheading in this piece, though. What are the new resistances if the XRP rally continues? The next resistance zone now to break is the 69-cent area, which is crucial before $1 can come into play. There are a few useful tools to determine the potential resistance zones on the XRP chart. One of them is the Fibonacci extension tool. The recent top is the 1 number on the Fibonacci extension tool, and the bottom around 20 cents as the 0. Therefore, the next likely resistance zone can be measured around the 1.618 Fibonacci level at $1.13. Similarly, the second zone is the zone around $1.70, which is the 2.618 Fibonacci level. Now, that caught my attention because when Blockchain Backer is talking about getting close to around $2, I've heard him say $1.80, which is strikingly close to $1.70. So it caught my attention. You know, it's just, I just like to get this. See, this is why I do this. Like, I love getting opinions from all sorts of chart analysts and comparing them. And when they start to line up in notable ways, I'm just going to point them out, you know. Anyway, the piece continues. However, the first resistance zone between $1.08 and $1.18 is an important resistance zone, as it also acted as resistance throughout the 2017 cycle, as the chart shows. One can argue that a run toward $1.08 to $1.18 is likely once the area at 70 cents breaks. Once a price breaks above resistance, the next thing one would like to see is the previous resistance becoming support. If you're a bull, that is. The BTC/XRP chart is showing such a critical level, highlighted in green, so it's on your screen right there, that can flip to support. During the end of 2019 and the beginning of 2020, this area served as the range low and support for a substantial period. However, it failed to sustain that support, leading to a drop to 0.00001500 thereafter. And so they write, in a nutshell, what he ultimately writes here is just, if this level holds, XRP is likely to continue running towards the $1 barrier. And to this point, so far, it is holding. And so you can see, yeah, that's in the lower time frame. He's basically just saying, you know, it's kind of similar, again, to even this part is, to what I'm hearing from other analysts, just in terms of the 65 cent level being an important level to watch. And so we'll be looking here, but look, no matter what, even if there's a short-term breakdown, I still must insist, like from all of the analysts that I'm following that I think are worth following and you know, trustworthy. And again, none of them are going to perfectly know what happens. Like I keep saying, it's not about them predicting and yes, they're right, no, or no, they're not. Or it's about probability of outcomes, right? And so I just keep seeing these levels. You're talking about a 65 cent level. So even if it goes down in the short term, the macro trend, they all say it's still in play. You know, you're not going to go up in a straight line. You can't. You'll go up in a roughly straight line for so long, and you're going to have a retracement. It's just inevitable. and that's fine, and that's to be understood. It's just part of the territory here. So in the end, my gosh, I've been saying this for probably the last couple weeks, or whenever the hell the XRP rally really got going here. In the days leading up to it, even actually, I've never seen so many analysts so positive about XRP. I've never seen this. And most of the reason that's the case is because I've been in the space for 3 years, and the vast majority of that has been during a bear market. And now we're bullish, and we're not anywhere near bubble territory as an asset class. So this is going to get really exciting here. But I'll go ahead and wrap up there. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.